Ross the Boss. Here we go.
Ed, yeah, we are looking at Geelong and the Western Bulldogs for Ross the Boss tonight. And Ross, the key pillars for both teams, there's some star-studded forward lines amongst them, isn't there?
Yeah, well, Bevo seems wedded to the three talls. So both anchors, Norton and Hawkins, but then you got English and you got Bruce for the Bulldogs. Now a stretch of the Cats defence, and then obviously addition of Jeremy Cameron, and then that's freed up Gary Rowan. So, you know, contrasting structures in forward lines, but both really powerful. And it's incredible what Hawkins can do and how he can assist his teammates. The relationship between Cameron and Hawkins in a brief period of time has been very powerful, and they have found another gear, the Cats.
He's amazing, Tom Hawkins. He just gets better with age, I think. I think he'll be All-Australian again this year, but it's not the goals he kicks, it's his score involvements, Ross, and how he's so unselfish and brings others into the game.
Well, his footy intellect is incredible. His ground level, his vision, you know, his ruck work, his ability. There it is with Cameron again on the left, the ability to capitalise, but his ability, his field kicking, to see the open and the spare player here off the line, and there's Rowan there. So he brings everyone in around him, and he plays with a physical presence, and he's so unselfish. He must be a pleasure to coach. But Cameron has been that, I think, the missing piece in the premiership puzzle, which we're all seeing, obviously.
Luke Beveridge bristled a while back, didn't he, around how his defenders handle players like Hawkins. We'll see how they go. Yeah,
well, I think now he's going to be stretched. So you got Hawkins and you got Rowan, but now you got Cameron. I think you're right. So, you know, obviously we say it's won and lost in the midfield, but any team that's been able to get midfield supply and they've got quality tools like Richmond have really stretched the Bulldogs. So I know Bevo doesn't like hearing it, and we could be wrong, but they're going to be challenged again on the weekend.
And the Cats defenders will be challenged as well. What about this guy, Aaron Norton? I don't know if another forward hits the ball as hard as this bloke.
Well, Wayne Carey's very excited to see him play. If you let him run and launch, it is all over, because his leap and his size and his power, he's almost unstoppable. So you're going to need some assistance, but the first thing is you want to get some body on him, because he's so big and strong. If you let him launch, you can't stop him. But you can just see here, if you let him launch and you've got no assistance, so Chris Scott and his team will be planning heavily. We'll look for some assistance off roll-off players, and we'll show some vision of that.
He's top 5 for score involvements as well as Aaron Norton. We want to show Jack Henry. I think he's an unsung hero, one of the most improved players in the game, Ross. We showed Tom Stewart a while back about how he gets free. Well, Jack Henry's similar. You can't let him be free.
Yeah, so if you go up the stoppage, like most teams will tie up Stewart, and so you got him. But now Chris Scott's smart. You've got to develop a couple of weapons. So Jack Henry has really come on. His ability to get across and support. So Henderson body there, and then he rolls off. And here he is capable of winning a one-on-one. So, you know, will English and Bruce and those guys stretch him, or will he be able to get and roll off? But a key to that will be the Bulldogs ball movement, which we'll show you shortly.
Ross, you won a massive game for Fremantle at Geelong. It was one of my most famous finals up there, and you attacked the Cats that day with Rana and Carey. I want to show some vision here. Is that what the Bulldogs need to do against Geelong to try and...
Yeah, because they set up the spare so well. Whether it's Stewart or English, you can just see the Bulldogs at their best, love bringing it inside, and we'll show you some vision. If you get it to the open side and in the corridor, we'll show you, there's a Lear that was the spare defender, and you bypass him and you go into one-on-ones to Norton and Bruce. So if they allow that to happen, the Cats, you've got to force them skinny side back to your support, because that's what will happen. It'll be easy, uncontested marks.
Yeah.
And this is a classic. Handball chain, this is the Bulldogs at their best, halfbacks from behind, open side. So if we stop it there, I'm not sure. I think it's Jones,
yep.
Liam Jones, who's a great roll-off defender. If they come skinny, he's in play. They chain it through the corridor and you hit up to the open side in one-on-one space. And Norton and Bruce and English will be unstoppable if that happens.
Great vision, Ross. I talked about Jack Henry before. Mark O'Connor is another wonderful story. I love that the tag is back in the game. And look at the scalps that he has taken this year. It started with Lachie Neale. They weren't ready for it, the Brisbane Lions, that night, and he terrorised Lachie Neale. He's continued on, and Boak ended up with 22, but he had no effectiveness on the game last weekend.
Well, there's a mixed bag. He outside run, inside. He can handle them all. Tall, small. Clayton Oliver's a big man. Lachie Neale short. But his night before games, so he wouldn't lay in bed feeling very good. But he gets it, he screws down and gets it done. And they also know you can't outrun him. So you're going to have to be very smart, and they're going to need a lot of support from the Bulldogs teammates, whoever he goes to. Who do you think he's going to go to?
Well, tomorrow night, speaking of sleep, if it's Marcus Bontempelli, he won't be sleeping too well because I think he's the most informed player in the game. He may well be leading the Brownlow at the moment, but the size of him, Ross, and I feel there's some indictment on some teams, the space they've given him. Yeah. At least limit him kicking goals. That would be a good starting point.
Well, he's a centre-forward player now, isn't he? He's a scalper with the ball. We love him. We've spoken about previously, we thought, will they go to him? But they went to Liberatore inside. So I'm interested to see Chris Scott. Do you go to their captain and their guiding force, or do you go to that real insider? Yeah. I'm not sure. It'll probably be Bontempelli, but it could be one of the other insiders. But I'll be fascinated to see if he gets Bontempelli, that's his biggest scalp, can he get him done?
Hard to beat at Geelong at the Cats. Who do you like, Ross, in this one?
Yeah, I'm all in the Cats. I just think the footy I saw is powerful. They reel teams in quickly. They go away. They're composed. They're experienced. They're strong. Bulldogs will challenge them, but I think their front half, as long as the midfield breaks even, will get it done.